Hey, hi, good afternoon, guys. I'm Harshit Desai here from the MIT ID Innovation Program. Thank you all for joining, and congratulations to some of you, all of you, those who have cleared the first round of the that exam. Uh, I will quickly take you through what the program is all about, and we'll try to spend more time on the questions that you may have. And you can post it in the Q&A tab there, or ask by raising your hands, and then maybe we'll allow you to talk also once the presentation is over. So I'll just take you through this quick presentation that I have put through. Yeah. So this is where we run the MIT ID Innovation Program. This is our MIT ID Innovation Studio, where we started the program last year. This is a very unique one-year program that has been created, keeping in mind largely the industry requirements. Because for past 15 years we have been running this design school, and so many programs and so many courses, and all of them has led to a lot of interactions with the industry. And we are constantly getting a feedback that while the design programs are all fantastic, and all the graduates coming from MIT ID, they are kind of doing excellent work, but the pace at which the industry has changed, and the expectations from the design graduates or the professionals who come out in the market, uh, I think there was a shift which was seen, and we, as pioneers of design education in India, we also thought that why not create a separate program which will address all these industry requirements. And keeping that in mind, we started with this one-year program last year. And the philosophy of the program was to, in a way, combine all the essential elements which go in defining uh, how professionals in tomorrow's world or in the future world would be working, would be collaborating, would be learning, and what all are the skill sets that these professionals would be requiring. So these are the quick insights that we had, and based on which the program is created. So one clear thing which came up was, yes, design is important. Design is a very, very critical skill in today's time, but probably design alone is not sufficient. So whereas there are many streams and many disciplines which train you to become a specialist in one type of design, but in the industry eventually you are doing very broad based work. Means there is a specialization based work which keeps happening, but people who are T-shaped, as they are called, where there is one strong domain, and then there is a peripheral skills or the generalist skills which help you grow in a career, they are becoming more and more critical. So apart from design, there has to be different skill sets which today's professionals should have if they want to succeed in the industry. Because overall, the single skill set jobs where you are just good at just one thing will not take you far in your careers. So this was one of the kind of analysis and prediction that we had, and we constantly refer to these kind of forums and all the research that keeps happening when it comes to what is future of jobs, what kind of work will exist in future, and what kind of people will have an edge when it comes to the new kind of economy and new kind of work that lies ahead for us. So keeping all of that in mind, these are the skill sets which we collated, and in our own way have combined them into this one-year innovation program here. So it essentially boils down to these four domains or four disciplines, and these are the four pillars on which the innovation program is built. So first is obviously design, because with a strong legacy in design education, MIT ID has been doing good in terms of all the design programs that we run. So one important component was of design. The second comes from the industry, the business part, where what's happening live in the industry and what is that will make more sense, what will make more relevance when you go out in the industry. So that whole understanding of how business works, how industry works, is very very critical for any of the professionals today. So that forms a very big component of the innovation program, where you are taught inputs in business, in how the industry works, what are the industry practices, and see the relevance of how that connects up with the design inputs that you are getting. Talking about design, we we were we are able to pack in, say, if you have to really look at a breakup of the syllabus of the innovation program, so around 40% of the syllabus is about design. So where you will actually learn some hands-on approaches, some tools and some methods of doing design, be it traditional product design, be it elements of user experience design, be it elements of anything related to the digital design, service design. That is something which all gets covered in the design component of the syllabus. So around 40% of the syllabus consists of all these design related topics. Another 40, I would say, is about the business and humanities part, where you get trained on the life skills, you get trained on the soft skills, you get trained on what are the, as they are called, really 21st century skills, right? So coming from an industry, coming from a professional background, you need to have understanding of business as a subject, and also the other life skills which primarily come from the humanities and those kind of domains. And then there is a good amount of exposure, very very crisp, very very appropriate, and only of whatever is required of the technology. Because in today's world you can't really do without technology, and you may not be a technologist or you may not be a technical person, but in some or the other way you have to have an understanding of technology. If you come with a technology background or engineering background, where you have been exposed to technology and technicalities of doing business in some way, it's a added advantage. But for people who don't come from a technical background, there are inputs which bring you at par, when we things about AI, ML, machine learning, blockchain, robotics, automation. These are the things which are being used in the industry to create new products, services, and businesses. So this is, in a nutshell, the syllabus of how the innovation program is created. This is the structure. So all these blocks that you see are, each of them are classroom courses which go on for around 30 weeks. So roughly a semester of around 5 to 6 months is where you get taught inputs. So there are classroom inputs where there are faculty who will conduct courses, and you will learn all that we just saw in the first slide about design, business, technology, and humanity. So this all is packaged under different modules in the program, and this is what is taught to you in the first phase of the program. The second phase of the program is a internship or a final project, where you go out in the industry and work on a live project. Now, let me again highlight one point here. When I say classroom courses, they are not your traditional classroom courses, because all the faculty who are coming here to teach you, they all are going to be industry experts. So we have a few faculty from MIT ID, in-house faculty, who are involved in the innovation program, but 90% of the faculty who come and take courses for the innovation program, they all are either designers, professional designers, they run their own design companies, or they are innovators who have kind of created some new projects or new products and kind of out there in the market. Many of them, they are industry professionals who work at senior positions, but they have agreed and they have kind of been part of the ecosystem, and they do come and spend time with you on either a guest lecture or delivering a specific module. And many of them, they are practitioners or consultants in their own way. So even if I say that this is a classroom course, it is not a traditional academic course where you are just sitting and listening to lectures. Each course, even if it's for a week or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever is the duration, you will learn through projects which are run by the industry mentors, and then through that there is a learning, there is a conceptual understanding which is given to you, and that's how you learn. So learning by doing becomes the mantra. So every module, big and small, you will have to put things to practice, and that's how you learn. This has two advantages. One is obviously you learn something which is very, very appropriate and relevant. So you're not learning anything just for the sake of it, because industry people, they typically don't mince their words. They are very straightforward and pragmatic when it comes to dealing with things. So they would be very practical, and they would not really go into too much of the theory part of it. It's just for whatever conceptual understanding you need, there is a input given, but it will be very, very practice oriented. So this makes it very crisp in terms of you learn whatever is appropriate, whatever is relevant, and don't end up things learning things which you will not ever use any time in your class or in the industry. The second thing which happens is that typically there are many questions, and I'm sure some of you would have those questions, that what about the placements, and what about the kind of career support that we get in the innovation program. So now imagine on day one, there is a CEO or a founder of a company or a senior manager of a company who is right there in the class with you, teaching you things. Now what happens is that while he is teaching and while the kind of academic discussions are happening, you are also getting an opportunity to really build your case and actually build your career right there in the class. And this, for the first batch also, it has similarly happened that those faculty and the industry people who had come and interacted with the students as a part of the classroom courses, they are the ones who have been working with them, collaborating with them on projects. They are doing internships with them, and many of them will eventually get jobs also there once the program concludes. So you get more flexibility to rightly choose what should be your career path, because you are in constant mentorship and constant discussion with people out there in the industry. While you are studying, while you are learning in the class, you get constant feedback and direction that, okay, look, this is how it should be, because not for any other reason, but because it is going to help your career. So this is one of the biggest advantage, I would say, of the innovation program when it comes to the industry exposure. It starts right from day one, where you interact with people who are out there in the industry, and they stay with you for a long time through a course, through a project that they are working with you. And yeah, the final aspect of the program is the internship or a final project that you get to do. This again, as I said, it happens in the industry, and there is also an option that if, say, some of you are self-driven, some of you are really having a fantastic idea that you already have, or that you discover while you are part of the program in the first phase. You can actually use this time to build that product, build that and when I say product, it can be, it is essentially a proposition. It can be a physical product, it can be a digital product, it can be a service proposition. But the whole point is that you get to define something of your own, and then whatever entrepreneurial support you need, if your intent is to start something of your own or eventually build something which is like you own it, then there is enough resources available for that as well. So there is an incubation center, the Atal Incubation Center, the government recognized, and we are the few of the colleges in Pune who have one of the best incubation center facilities. So if you really come up with an idea, even at a very early stage, you'll get enough resources to kind of build a prototype, get a feedback, have something which makes it work, pitch it to people who might be able to give you feedback or give you additional resources, or maybe it might lead to some funding and other support. So the incubation center we work very closely with. Second, there are many labs around the campus, not only in design but generally across the campus, where you can have access to different types of prototyping and building things depending on what project you choose to work on. So if you're working on a project which requires a 3D printing to be done, then you would have an access to a 3D printer and all of that, where you can quickly make prototypes and kind of test out. If you are building something in a digital space, then there are enough labs and softwares and all of that where you can do a quick prototyping and put things out there in the market for real testing and for real users to kind of give you a feedback and comment on that. So this is how the program structure is laid down. These are the topics which I briefly touched upon, but this is a detailed slide where you will be able to see what all gets covered as a syllabus when you study the innovation program here. So yeah, this is right from, as I mentioned, all that you intend to study in design, you will get a good abstracted and a compressed way of design given to you as a package in the innovation program itself. But I primarily understand all of you have applied for the MDes program, so you have a choice to study a discipline of design in detail, or study design at a slightly more holistic and a broad way, and along with that also learn business, also learn engineering, technology, also gain some real professional life skills which are important from a career point of view, along with the right industry interface and the right industry support. So yeah, Miss, talking about design and comparing it to an MDes program, this is what it comes down to. So I'd shared this earlier also, but for those who are new, you can kind of look at the comparison points. The focus always in the innovation program will remain on doing things which are more real and practical, because often we see that in a MDes program, you get very good exposure to the skills, because the intent is to become a designer. So obviously you need to be good with your skills, be it your hand skills, be it your digital skills, be it learning softwares, be it doing whatever all other things which lead towards a specialization. So that's where these two things would differ. When we talk about the innovation program's focus, it is more to kind of use design, put it to practice, and make something out of it. Whereas in an MDes program, the focus is on really mastering the skill of design. So that's something which you need to take a call based on your own temperament, your own existing skill sets. Because to be very frank, we have evaluated your portfolios, we have seen some of your work, and with this kind of a skill, and some of you are also already working in the industry or have some prior experience in the field of design, uh, you need to take a very cautious decision of doing a masters of design in the same area that you already have an expertise. So you may have a reason that, okay, look, I know things, but I need a degree, and hence I want to pursue a particular discipline of design. But from a learning point of view, given the certain skills that you already have, uh, there will be not much of a value add if you choose to do it in the same kind of domain or same kind of discipline that you are kind of going from a degree point of view. So this is like a broader and a general comment to the people who already have some work experience, who already are good with the skills part. Because what you really need is not probably gain more skills, but really find a platform and opportunity to apply those skills. There is no end to learning skills. For those who don't have those skills, it's another thing, because this is probably the first time that they are getting exposed to the world of design. But those who already come with that background, uh, it might just become a repetition of what you already are knowing. Probably you will learn 20-25% more from what you are currently there, and probably you get a different approach and different exposure when you do the program. But that's something which is a call, and which should be a very important parameter for all of you, those who are already working and are having some prior experience. and purely from a logistics point of view, it is a 2 years investment in a master's degree for you to come out in the industry and gain something, and employment and whatever means, whatever is the next step of your professional journey. Whereas in the 1 year program, you will be able to kind of get a fair amount of knowledge, understanding, and a holistic way, and you kind of save 1 year to get into the industry. So yeah, this is what it was about, and we are ready for some questions here. So you can either type in the question answer panel, or you can also kind of raise your hands, and if you want to speak, we can allow you to speak. Yeah, Akash.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Akash. Yeah, please
Yeah,
go
sir.
ahead.
I just wanted to check that how it is different for different backgrounds. So somebody comes from a science background who has done an engineering, or somebody has done a commerce background who has done a BCom, or
Okay.
somebody has done a architecture, an arts background.
Okay. Okay.
So
See
all of
the
them would be there, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how it would benefit?
Very interesting question. So the approach that we have taken is a cohort-based approach. So you will actually find people who come from diverse backgrounds, and that is intentional, and that is something which is designed. So we are looking at, say, 20 people in the class. Okay, so the batch is not going to be more than 20, is what we are aiming at. And the way you will learn from the faculty and the industry experts, we are expecting that there is a lot of cross learning between you as peers. Okay? And that's the new way of working and new way of learning also, because you end up learning when you work together on a project. So there lot of diverse backgrounds people do add value, because purely from a point that they bring in a fresh perspective. We know that, okay, if you are an engineer, then you are trained in a particular way and you have a particular way of looking at
Right.
things. But somebody who is coming from, say, studying design, or somebody who has studied architecture, or for matter somebody has studied commerce, uh, they would surely bring in a very different perspective. And that is what innovation is all about. Innovation always happens at intersections. Innovation always happens at crossroads of different disciplines. So that's one part. Talking about the coping up part of it, so the program is designed in a way, and the delivery and the pedagogy happens in such a way that you need to be good with one of those four pillars. Okay, so I showed you those four things:
Yeah.
design, technology, business, and humanities. So you need to be good with one skill or one domain that you come to the program with. So if you are a technology background, then you should be kind of confident about that. Okay, look, I know technology, I can put it to some use, I can tinker around, I can put things together and make something. Then the rest of the knowledge is what you gain is on the three other aspects, that you end up learning more of design, you end up learning more of business, and the other life skills that we spoke about. Somebody
Okay.
who comes from a commerce background, and
Yeah.
I'm all talking about real cases, right? So we, in the first batch, we have a student who came with a commerce background. She
So,
learned.
sir, talking about me particularly,
Hmm,
so I'm from a commerce background. I
okay.
was not interested in mainstream design. I was interested in management, so I took up
Okay.
the fashion management and marketing course at
Okay.
MIT.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, uh, if I think to shift to the innovation program, so what would you suggest that what would
See,
help me or
understanding. See, in understanding of business is imperative. Okay, whether you do it by virtue of you being a commerce graduate, or you have learned things on your own, or you learn things in the program. So, having understood that, if you come with a commerce background, obviously, we are not teaching you accounting and taxation in the innovation program for sure.
correct,
But
correct,
what does it mean to make a business? What does it require for an idea to really get translated into reality? So, see, now since we are talking, typically what happens is, in a when you approach things from a design point of view, you end up with very fantastic ideas. Okay, and you create fantastic visions. There are good concepts which are being proposed, but there is a there is a bigger journey to take the idea to reality. So by just looking at design. That's why I said no, that design alone is not enough, whereas design is important, and hence there is enough emphasis on the program that you will learn design. So first value add that you get as a commerce graduate is that you get to learn design in a very hands-on way. Okay, so that's one thing which gets sorted for you. Now you coming with a commerce background, your understanding of business in whatever way will be put
Yeah.
to use. That okay, look, now for example, if I have to kind of do a pricing, or if I want to do something which is about regulations, anything, means anything that you have studied or experienced in your graduation or your prior work experience will be put to use, because everything then works in a project based format. So tomorrow if you are say working in a team, for example, and you, there is a person from an engineering background and there is somebody from the design background. So now when running that project, probably you can take up the whole uh, responsibility of building the business plan,
Yeah.
because probably you know some things about it, whereas somebody who has studied design may not have that full understanding of how a business plan works. But both of you coming together, you will be able to learn from each other and at the same time carry out the project in a more efficient way, and so on and so forth. I mean, there can be people who come from a psychology background, there can be people who come from fine arts background, people coming from any other background for that matter. Everybody will find a space, and you do multiple projects, so it's not that you are kind of tied to one team all the time. So you keep rotating, you kind of are part of different teams, different projects, and that's how you end up learning more in a limited time. So that's how I think it will work for you. But again, be very very careful, because we know that you all had a primary interest in the MDes program. So I'm repeatedly saying, those who have the intent of specializing or learning a particular design skill should still go for an MDes program. While you will learn UX in the innovation program, you will learn product design also in the innovation program, you will learn some amount of graphic and visual design also in the innovation program. Beyond that, you will learn additional things like design thinking, design research, service design, business design, which is not part of the MDes program, MDes disciplines.
Yeah.
But uh, if the intent is to learn animation design, then probably your focus is different. So it is not about specialization. So those people who are looking at a specialization aspect of it should really go for a MDes program. Those who are looking at furthering their knowledge and really doing things at a professional level, or probably already have some work experience, or as you rightly said, that you come from a background where you are not been exposed to design but are generally interested in design, then I think the innovation program will make more sense to you in that sense.
Thank you, sir.
ठीक है. Fee structure for MDes per year, I think that's given on the websites, right? Means let me just find out. Are product managers hired directly through placements? What are the major companies that are coming for placements? Can you raise the hand, whoever has asked this question, because I think I would also need to understand few things. Yeah, Tejaswini, did you ask this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, tell me. So,
Sir, actually, I wanted to know like how product managers are hired basically.
okay, so product managers, now the product management industry is something which I would say everybody is an accidental product manager. So
Okay.
people land up in product management jobs. So there are some companies which come with a very clear requirement and with a clear understanding, because they they are product companies. Okay, so whoever is a product company would really understand that, okay, look, I am coming primarily for hiring a designer, but these are the skills which I require. And more than often what happens is many of these product companies, they are not able to find the exact package, because product management as a discipline is very close to innovation, because there are three elements in that. So one is obviously the design and the UX part, second is the business and the marketing part, that how do I really capture the voice of customer and bring and convert that into a feature and then make it part of a product, and third is the tech part of it, that how do I really use tech to build something. So that's why the innovation program comes very, very close to the product management profile. And in fact, the internship that I just spoke about, so at least three of the first batch students, they have got into a product management profile right now. So either they are
Okay.
building a digital product, or they are helping in the the marketing of the digital products, or maybe in the larger scheme of things, they are building that entire service blueprint where the product will have multiple touch points, and then kind of so on and so forth in terms of applying whatever they have learned here.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So yeah, so placements, I'm sure. So see, placements is something which it's something which as I said, you have to start working it from day one, because it will start from day one. Means you won't be able to learn, or you won't be able to generally do the program without paying attention to the placements. And through the program, there is a continuous support. MIT ID placements as an ecosystem, whatever you know, is all available to the innovation program as well. And that's the whole point of it being a MIT ID program and not something very different. So all the network and all the industry support that otherwise is available to all the BDES, MDES, or any other programs is also available to the innovation program. And there are some other more opportunities also which are only for the innovation program, but may or may not be there for the other design disciplines. So does that answer the question, Tejaswini?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
perfect. Great. Anybody else? I will quickly run a survey here to. So I'm just sending out your question. You can just quickly fill that, so we get a understanding of what is the batch profile here. Yeah. Yeah, Mega, you can ask.
Hello.
Yeah, Mega, go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yes.
I wanted to ask that if we get selected, so what would be the last date to submit the fees?
So see, the way we are doing it, again, considering the situation that we all are into, and you waiting for the MDES result. So 30th is when you need to pay the confirmation amount. Okay, so 30th
Okay.
May,
Mm-hmm.
you pay the confirmation amount that you are interested in the innovation program, and there is a I think 50,000 is the amount that you need to pay to block the seat. So if you pay 50,000, the seat gets blocked for you, saying that you are interested and you will eventually pay the balance fees in the schedule that is mentioned. So it will, so in a way you will get a chance to kind of, so those who are waiting for the MDes results, your MDes results will be out on say 22nd or 23rd. And after that, depending on what is the status of your MDes program, you can then finally take a call and pay the fees for the innovation program.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so 30th. So I think the mail which has been sent to you will have all those details. So 30th May, you have to you have to pay 50,000 rupees to block the seat, and then maybe within a 1 month's time, you'll have to pay the balance fees as per the schedule which has been mentioned.
Okay. So to block the fees, it's the 50,000 is the amount.
50,000 is the amount that you need to pay before 30th of May.
Okay. For only innovation program or
For innovation. This is so. See, also since we are here, I would like to also clarify that the MDes process and the considerations for MDes will be very different, because you will get an official communication of what are the fees, how is to be paid. All of that is a separate thing, because that comes under the university. So you please follow those instructions which are given to you as a official communication on under the DAT website or through the email which is sent to you.
Okay.
So we are essentially talking about the innovation program here, and the process for admission to innovation program is that you need to pay, if you are selected, you have to pay 50,000 rupees by 30th of May to block the seat, and then in next few months you'll have to pay the balance fees as per the schedule which is already shared in the email sent to you.
So just one more question I wanted to ask.
Yeah, Akash, go ahead.
Uh, so as this is a 1 year course, and you know the current COVID situation, so second quarter is already gone, right?
Yeah.
First quarter is gone, second quarter is gone.
Yeah.
So how do you think the course would cover up in the next 2 quarters or 3 quarters?
No, so see, we will because
Yeah.
if the course starts late, it will end late. Means ideally, when innovation program ka schedule was anyways, it was supposed to start in August, and it went all till August next year. So that was the schedule. This time, probably instead of August, we might have to move a bit late and do it in September. But then the next, like, it will end in the next year's August. So we are not compromising anything on the coursework, or not reducing or shortening it, or nothing of that sort is being done. We will run it as a full program. The only thing is it will
Okay.
get extended. So if you're starting 1 month late, it will end 1 month late. That's how it is being planned.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, what about the placements in innovation program? Did I answer this, or is there anything more that you want to ask? Who has asked this question? If you can just raise the hand, probably we would want to also understand something more on the question. Yes. Fair enough. So, generally talking about placements, I'll just repeat it once again. There are more number of possibilities that open up, because you are learning some other horizontal skills as well. Okay, so being, say for example, being a designer or having studied MDes program, you may or may not get into a product management role. Okay, but by doing this innovation program, there is a window that opens up there. By doing the MDes program, you may or may not be equipped for doing, say, service design. But by doing this, you will be eligible also, and you will have a good understanding of how service design works. Same with design research, same with design strategy, same with any other aspects of design which are at a slightly broader level. So that's how the placement opportunities for the innovation program will be different, there will be certain different kinds of profiles which will be available to you, which you can apply for. And based on your current level and expertise in design and whatever you gain in the program, you can also target, say, doing a UI UX role or a product design role. All of that, you may not be as expert as a product designer doing it, but you will be able to do it to a reasonable extent based on whatever inputs are given to you in the program. So that is how I would really put it, that the opportunity wise, you get a bigger basket, you get a bigger canvas to kind of really look at a professional development for you after the program. And again, it all depends on how you really kind of make the use of the program facility, the infrastructure, the network, and the resources that are given to you. So in that sense, there is nothing which is far off for you. Means if you are, as I said, if you are talking to the industry people on a daily basis, I'm sure you will get enough opportunities and enough direction to first decide what is good for you, and then eventually be prepared for it in the best possible way to capture those or tackle those opportunities. Can we interact with the faculty of other design department? Yes, very much sure, because that is the whole point of this being housed on the design campus, because the entire design ecosystem is around you. So there are all the departments, and again, based on what is your intent and what is the expertise that you are seeking, you are free to go and meet all the other faculty members, including if, and in fact this is again what is actually happening. So in one of the projects, innovation students and, say, two students from graphic design and one student from UX design, they all were, they all teamed up and they did one project together. So this is also possible that there is a good interaction with the existing faculty on the campus and the students also from other disciplines, because that's how you really kind of built the what I would say, the way teamwork happens, or the way collaboration happens, and then you really get a feel of how do real projects are executed. So yeah, very much you'll be getting access to all the faculty members and the student body and all of them as a part of the innovation program. But you should go with a focus. Means it's not generally that, because you have to be very careful that somebody who is learning a particular skill, say in transportation design, they will have to do it with a very different approach and to a very different kind of a detailing that they will be doing. Okay, you may or may not have that time and kind of liberty to do it till to that level of extent. But yeah, at a guidance level, at a exposure level, and taking something specific, it is more than welcome that you should actually do that. You should actually interact with the other faculty members who are there on the field. So when will we get the results of innovation program, as in we are selected in the final list? So what we had done is, in the first, so the question is, when will we get the results of the innovation program? Now, before that happened, I think there was a form which was circulated and few people had opted, saying that I am interested in the innovation program. So we had the portfolios and SOPs of those candidates, and along with this MDES, or sorry, the DAT result which is announced, we were able to evaluate those, say, number of participants who had, candidates who had shown interest in the innovation program, and their result has been conveyed. Now, since the result is announced, we'll be probably sending again a fresh mail for people who are interested in enrolling for the innovation program. So maybe by the time the MDES results are announced, in the same time frame, we'll be able to send out a second list also, where a new set of people who have shown fresh interest in the innovation program, they also will be evaluated and the results will be declared. So yeah, maybe you can expect it around 22nd or similar on the MDES result. You will expect the final list of the innovation program as well, and maybe even before that as well, if we get all the portfolios and SOPs in time, and if you're able to evaluate them. Is PG diploma equivalent to a master's program? Your question itself has the answer. PG diploma is a PG diploma. A master's program is a master's program. In India's regulatory environment, anything which is less than 2 years cannot be a master's degree. So if I have to give somebody a master's degree, it has to be minimum of 2 years. So ours being a 1-year program, it is a PG diploma and not a master's degree. This only matters. So this whole degree diploma khel is like that if you are focused on working in a professional world, if your focus is to get into the industry and do work in the professional realm of things, then the degree diploma may not matter too much. Okay. Only if there is an intent eventually, and if there is a scenario that somebody of you wants to say eventually do a PhD and wants to get into academics, in that case this PG diploma will not serve the purpose. That's the only scenario where you will not be eligible for doing a PhD, because yours is not a master's degree but a postgraduate diploma. So be very clear. If you are getting into the industry and there is no intent of getting into academics at any point of your time in your career, then the degree diploma may not matter too much for you. A degree will be useful as a degree, means like a formal degree, because it is a mandatory requirement if you want to get into academics. For all your industry related work, means if you want to start something, if you want to work in the industry, if you want to start a studio of your own, you want to do freelancing, whatever else you want to do as a part of your professional growth, the diploma and the degree differentiation will not matter too much. uh, how much percent of graphic design is included? See, as I said, the whole 40% is the design component, of which you will I won't say it's specific, discipline specific, but you will obviously understand some basic principles of how design works or how communication works. So graphic is a very narrow way of talking it. So what is the important aspect here is that, are we able to communicate correctly? And then there are some principles of graphic design and some principles of communication design which will be put to use, and then you will be able to kind of learn those things as well. And if there is anything deeper or anything specific that you would want to understand and learn, there are other graphic design department faculty members whom you can always go for any other additional inputs that you are seeking. But as I said, it has to all happen through a project. Means you are not learning just for the sake of it. So you should go with a very clear intent that this is what I want to learn when it comes to graphic design. This is going to be useful, and then there will be enough resources and people to help you out in whatever you want to learn. So you have to define and kind of have everything put in a framework of a project first. Nishkarsh, I have applied for UI UX. Yeah, but what is the question? So if you can just elaborate on that, I will take that as well. What do we work as after the course, as I don't have any specialization? So the work, as I said, it can be of doing the all the activities which come, say, before the design process. So for example, you are doing research, you are setting up a strategy, you are setting up a kind of a process or a service design blueprint for the actual design to happen. Okay, so that is one of the nature of work that you will be doing. The second type of work I see doing is a lot of collaboration, where you act as an integrator, because you know things about design, you know things about business, you know things about how technology works. So using all of this, you probably will be in a role of a integrator who put things together. And then that may take the form of a digital transformation person, or it may be a product management person, or it may be a research person, or it may be a strategy person. So these are the different profiles, as I would say. But what we have done is, rather than predicting it too much, I think there is so much of an hands-on support which is made available when it comes to the professional, what I would say, the professional outlook that you should have when it comes to your career. So that is how you actually discover that this is what I'm learning, this is what I'm good at, this is what the opportunity lies when it comes to the markets and placements and all of that. So let us kind of create a path to achieve those goals. So rather than doing it in a blanket way that, okay, look, what work I will do, uh, I would rather ask you the question that what is the work that you want to do. So if you are clear about that, there is a path and there is a way in which you can achieve that as a goal. If you're not clear what kind of work you want to do, as a part of the program, you will get enough inputs and mentorship and support to help you discover what you're good at, help you find the right resources, help you find the right mentors in the industry, and then carve out a path so that you are able to uh, achieve those career goals that you have set out for yourself. uh, Results, I want to know by when results will be known and how can I do that. So see, those, as I said, there are first set of people who had registered their interest, so we have put up a list and send out the mails to the students who have shown interest from the first lot. Now probably you all will get a fresh mail in which this link will be provided to you, and then any new candidates who are interested will do one more round of their evaluations, and by 22nd again we will announce the final list of students who have shown interest in the innovation program. So that is one. Could you name few companies where we can get placements? Naming them, I don't know, means all the companies which you see on the MIT ID placements page, they all are the potential placement companies. Means all of them have some or the other way to deal with innovation and design in their own way. So they all are the potential companies. Specifically talking about this, we are in close touch for the, at least for the first batch. We are talking to companies like Deloitte, Accenture, Tech Mahindra, Pragmatic Leaders, Turian Labs, and few more which are in this space of innovation consulting and design consulting and all the subjects that we just spoke about. So these are few companies which are more in touch with us, and the chances of you getting placed there are higher. But again, as I said, it all depends on how you want to carve out your career, and there will be enough support and mentorship support given to you on that. Sir, I was wondering why MDes students who might get into the MIT can't join this innovation program and learn from the projects happening during the program maybe. See, now the difference between the MDes and the innovation is that the innovation program practically runs 24/7. So the innovation program students, they have a workplace where it's like their own workplace, and things happen at a particular pace. So matching the schedule with the MDes becomes a bit of a challenge. So I really can't have a MDes course happening with a innovation course in that sense. Okay, because the timelines and the speed at which things happen in the innovation program is much faster. So the thing that you would say learn for say 6 weeks in an MDes program, you have to do the same amount, or you do that kind of work, or you learn that topic in say only 2 weeks. So then it becomes difficult to match that pace. But having said that, if there are some projects, and as I mentioned, so if you are an MDes student and if you want to collaborate with the innovation program students, uh, it, there can be a format created and you can at your own level, means because see, innovation program runs on a different system. MDes has all the credit system, there is a university structure, so you have to do things in a particular way. Okay, there are different ways to in which the courses are run, there is a different kind of evaluation, so you can't change that or you can't compromise that. But as I said, if you out of your own interest and if you really want to kind of add value to an ongoing project in the innovation program, we'll be more than happy to have those kind of collaborations, and we are already having it, by the way. So some of the students which they are running a project. So they are collaborating with, say, a product design student, a graphic design student, a UX design student. So they all have come together, but then you don't get the full feel of it, no? Because you are just doing a part of it. So as an MDes student, if you do contribute to some of the projects, uh, it is at a very kind of a initial level, not a deep dive in that sense. So so clubbing it with an MDes, or maybe for MDes students doing something together with the innovation program student, is a bit of a logistics challenge, purely because the rigor and the program and all of that is very different, and a very different speed that we have, also including. So those who are opting for innovation, you better be kind of prepared that there won't be the regular holidays that you get in a college life. Okay, so because we can't kind of afford to do that, because we already have only 1 year. So when you are enrolling for the innovation program, there shouldn't be anything else in your life happening apart from innovation. So you have to be very very focused, and you have to be ready that you will get less number of holidays, you will get many limited things to do in the rest of the time. The classes itself might kind of go on for a longer time. You may have to work, because see, there are quite a few faculty members who are all industry experts. Many of them, they are available only on weekends. So at times it happens that you have to work through the week, and then on the next weekend there are some courses for which the faculty is coming only on the weekend. So that's why it's difficult to match it with a MDes program. Could you give us some examples of projects that the previous students work on? Yeah. So one of the, I think the most interesting work that is happening right now is we are working on a what it's called the uh, future of food project. If I use the right word, we are trying to build a urban agriculture system. So those who have heard of terms like hydroponics and microgreens and all of that, which is becoming very very important in today's time, where access to good healthy food is becoming a priority. Especially in lockdown, we saw that how kind of getting basic vegetables and basic supplies was becoming a challenge. So one of the projects that we are working on is putting up a system which is a physical, like a hardware system, which will help you grow things in your homes or in your offices. Plus there is a digital angle to it, because it is then controlled by an app. There is some automation which is happening. There is an AI built into it which detects that what is the right way to kind of water the plant right now, what kind of nutrition, what kind of temperature. So all of that is then kind of controlled in a automated way using the technology. So that's one project that we are working on. Second was again it's into the fintech domain, where we in the design course that we did, we find out an opportunity that many people who are in the kind of a lower income group, they find it very difficult to save money and manage their finances and all of that. So one of the products which we are working on is to develop a Paytm kind of a product which will help people to save, and then connect it with other schemes and whatever benefits that say probably a government is giving, or some discounts, or way to kind of create an ecosystem where people are able to save from the little amount that they earn. So that's one of the projects. One of the slightly futuristic thing was to build a kind of a toy, okay, like a toy for a kid, which will help the kid learn in a very interactive way. So right now we have toys and we have things which are like Alexa and all of that, but here we are kind of trying to figure out a way where we can make it like a learning companion. So it's powered by AI. It learns along with the child, and it also teaches the child, and then there is some interaction which is happening between the toy and the kid. So yeah, these are 3 4 projects which were happening as a part of the project, sorry, as a part of the program. Then there were others which were about kind of how do I manage health for the senior citizens. Then there is something more also in the agriculture sector, but it is more on planning the crop cycle, and how do I kind of make things more efficient for a regular farmer. So that's another project which is happening. And there is something happening in the electric vehicle sector, which is more like an internship right now. So we are working with a automotive technology company right here in Pune, and they are the technology providers for the automotive vehicles. So there is some R&D and digital work happening in that space also with one of the students here. And one or two of them, they are building some things in the remote learning and edtech, and again enabled by AI and enabled by this new age learning platforms when it comes to the new age edtech platforms. So these are some of the projects which the students have worked on, and still it is work in progress, by the way. So some of them will become a reality. Some of them might take a small time, some more time to become a reality. But yeah, means many of these are still underway and they are in progress currently. How do people from management background benefit from this program with not specific design in mind? I think this is exactly the essence of the program, that we are not specific to a discipline of design. As I've been telling, that this is a holistic and a broad-based understanding of design that you would be able to develop here. And people who have a understanding of management, commerce, or any other related subjects will benefit, because see, we clearly know that in your traditional management or commerce or any of this education, there is zero exposure to design. So the first benefit that somebody gets from a management background is that they get to learn design, which itself is a new learning. It's because you have never been exposed to that, and you don't have that perspective. So when you do the module on design as a part of the innovation program, you yourself will get a lot of understanding that yeah, this is how there is a different way to build things. This is how different approach to solve problems. So that is a big benefit that you may have from the management, coming from a management background. Okay. What else? Is this innovation program useful for me as I applied for UI UX? Actually, I just joined the webinar. See, useful means, again, I would answer it. If your intent is to learn a specific discipline of design, then you go for the MDes program. If you want to learn design in a broad-based way and learn business, learn technology, learn other life skills, have more exposure to industry, have more exposure to live work, then you come to the innovation program. I think that's a simple way to answer. And it applies to all the disciplines. So whether it's UI UX, whether it's product, whether it's graphics, all of that is, I think it is the same answer for all these disciplines also. People who come with industry experience, I think for them it is I would, and we are also looking for people, by the way, in the innovation program. That's one of the criteria, that if you come with some prior experience in any field, means whether you have worked freelance, whether you have worked with a company, whether you have run your own thing, in whatever way you have worked professionally in some capacity, I think that is one of the plus points for us. So people who have work experience and are already confident of either of their skills, I think they should, for them, the innovation program will be more valuable. I already selected for NID second round. If I clear MIT, what is the criteria for fee? Sashwat, I didn't get your answer correctly. 1 minute. I'll just allow you to speak so you can put the question in a better way. I didn't understand it. Are you there, Shashwat? I think he has left. What is the average salary package after this program? You can expect anything around 6 lakhs. I think that's a reasonable figure to give at this stage. Given the situation, given all that we are facing currently, I think 6 lakhs is a reasonable figure to kind of expect as a salary after the program. The batch size will be 20 or at the most 25. So that's what is a very, very clear answer. 20 is the ideal size. If we get the right candidates, we might extend it to 25. What companies coming for placement? Why will they select innovation people against specialization people? Good question. Now that depends on the companies. There are enough companies who look for specialized skills because they want designers to work in a particular way. They want designers to do what they are asked to do. So they would hire designers which are specialized people. If a company is looking at an innovation candidate, they would also see that people do other things. They contribute to the organization beyond design, and they would opt for people who are more resourceful, who are more kind of able to contribute in other areas other than design as well. So those companies who have requirements of that nature, they will choose innovation people, and those who want specific things to be done from a designer, that this is related to a skill set of design, then they will choose specialization people. So the fees of the innovation program double of 1 year fees of MDes. I won't say it's double in that sense, because if you really look at the investment in a 2-year MDes program, it will be around 10 lakh plus. So if you just count the tuition, hostel, mess, all of those other components, and add the other living expenses that you may incur, and then also add that this is a 2-year program. So in the MDes, the total investment from your side will be 10 lakh plus. Whereas in the innovation program, it's a straight 1-year fee, which is 6 lakhs. And so see, if you look at the course structure, the fee structure, the complete fees of the MDes program for 1 year is 5,65,000. Okay, which includes your tuition, university fees, hostel, mess, and all of that. Purely from a tuition fee point of view, it's around 4 lakh rupees, because 3,20,000 and around 50,000 more there. So from a cost of education perspective, the 1-year program will, in comparison to a 2-year investment, it will be more affordable. The second thing is the kind of people that come for the program is very different. As I said, they all are working professionals. They all are professionals in their own right, and hence the cost of all of that engagement itself is a bit higher. So keeping that in mind, there is a slight difference in the fees that you may have seen between MDes and the innovation program. And similar program. So to just give a background, and some of you may also kind of realize this, and you may appreciate this fact that there is nothing like this program in India. Okay, when we are developing the program, and it's gone for say 1.5 years of our own research and the work that we have done to create this program. So we are the first ones to have such a course structure, such a syllabus, such a kind of a delivery, and the kind of people who are involved in the program. You will only find this happening in places like RCA, Copenhagen Institute of Design, TU Delft. So these are all top 10 design colleges and technology colleges globally. So similar program is available only in these top 5 or 10 universities outside of India. There is nothing that will compare to this program in India, at least as we speak now. So to get similar kind of an exposure, or to study things which you are studying here, and if you compare the cost of those kind of programs whom we are kind of benchmarking with, it is hard, it is just a fraction of that. Means it is a similar program which is available outside of India will cost you anywhere between 50 to 60 lakhs. And these are real figures, because we have benchmarked this, we have studied these programs thoroughly, and having understood that, okay, look, we are bringing really a global and a very world-class syllabus and a delivery and a very different flavor to this new education thing that we are doing, you won't find anything comparable in India. So comparing it with an MDes is again not the right thing when it comes to the fees part of it. That's the least that I can say here. Are there any alumni or students from the innovation program who we can interact? Yes, you can write to me at innovation at MIT ID. I will be happy to connect you to the entire batch. They will probably give you a better idea of what their learning experience was. And the next webinar that we are planning, probably next 3-4 days, you'll hear from us that we'll have a webinar and the students also talking and sharing their own experiences. So wait for it, and I think you will be able to kind of hear them firsthand. And one-to-one, if you want to speak to anybody, I think you can just write to me at innovation at MIT ID. I will connect you with the right people and you can take it from there. I live in Pune. Is transport facility available as per the innovation program timings? Is it safe for girls? Yeah, see, means that logistics shouldn't be a problem. We'll figure out something. So the college buses and all that is available. But as I said, the innovation program is not a very 9 to 5 kind of a thing. So it won't be. I won't advise you to kind of opt for that kind of a thing, because you can't say कि नहीं 4:30 हो गया मेरा bus है and I want to leave, because there are other important things that you will be missing on. So it's preferable to kind of stay either on the campus or nearby campus, because it will be difficult for you to gain from the program if you are bound by these rules and timings for that. In terms of facility, yeah, it's available. Means it's not a constraint. I'm not saying that it's not there. You can surely opt for the mess, you can opt for the transportation, you can opt for the buses. Everything is available to you as well. The only thing is it may not work for you. Means it's not the right thing for you to do given the program expectations that will be there when you work. What exactly will be the job profile once we get placed into company after innovation program? Now it's too much of defining. I would skip this. Exactly is very, very difficult to answer. You will get a chance to define it exactly when you are there. Is education loan available for this program? Yes, education loan is available for this program. There are most of the banks and all of them, they do provide the assistance, and the way you would get it for any other MIT ID program, you will get a loan for this program as well. The first batch students, the who are already doing it, they have already taken, some of them they have taken the loan. So yeah, it's available. What is the evaluation structure for this program? Evaluation as in can you just elaborate on this? Evaluation for the admissions or evaluation for the program? Yeah, who has asked this question? Can you just raise the hand? So if you are talking about the evaluation structure of the program, it's like there is a project component. So there is a jury that you will have to do. There is a presentation that you will have to keep doing regularly, both as a part of the course and at the end of the program, where you present the work that you have done, you present the research that you have done, you present the work that you have kind of created as a part of the assignment that was given to you. And that is how you get evaluated by the course faculty who has taught this, and also by the external faculty who will come as a examiner or an expert of that particular domain. And then there is a written component where there is some knowledge that you need to express as a in a written format. So there is a question paper kind of a format where you have to write an exam, but that's a smaller component. Largely the evaluation will be project based, and you'll have to present the work that you do as a coursework. 6 lakh does not include the hostel fee for the innovation program. 6 lakhs is only the tuition fees. The hostel and mess fees, if you opt for it, it will be extra, and I think it's mentioned on the website as well. So the hostel charges are 85,000 for a whole year, and mess charges are 77,000. Now, considering that this is a 6-month campus-based program, you may have to pay only it for one semester. So you can calculate that pro rata, because if you choose to do the project outside of the campus, the last 6 months of the program you are not on the campus, so you will have to pay the fees accordingly. But 6 lakh doesn't include the tuition fee, sorry, the hostel and the mess fees. 6 lakhs is only the tuition fees. Ayushi, I have applied for MDes, given MDAT. If I wish to apply for this innovation program now, how it is to be done? So you please wait for an email. We'll send you an email which will just ask you to fill a simple Google form. If you fill that form, we'll take that as a application for your interest in the innovation program. We will then evaluate your portfolio and CV and the SOP, and then give you your result whether you are selected or not for the program. So if you have given the EDAT, whoever has given the DAT already, they don't have to do anything else apart from just registering their interest in the Google form that will be shared with you. What is the max intake for the innovation program? 20 is the ideal size. We may extend it to 24 if there are really promising students. Scholarships are available. They are based on the merit, and also largely on your current situation. Means if you are already earning, if you are already working somewhere, if you are already having some prior work experience, that will be one of the critical parameters for us to talk about a scholarship format. It is provided in a different form. So again, I think it will be better answered if you just mail me. I will share the exact details of how the scheme works. Dear sir, I am student applying for MDes, shortlisted for second round. I also want to be part of the innovation program. What is the process for that? Also is another thing. So as I said, you have to choose between the MDes program or the innovation program. So if you are interested to apply for the innovation program now, you will be getting a mail from my side, and you have to just fill in that Google form saying that I am interested, and then we will come back to you by evaluating your profiles and SOPs and portfolios that you have sent it to us. I'm not much good at technical skills and programming languages. So as this program includes technology, would I be able to do innovation programs smoothly and secure good placement? From a learning point of view, yes, if you're not good with your technical skills, there is a basic input which is given to you in programming, which is basic exposure to technology. Then how do you use it is up to you. Okay, so if your basic question is that if you are not from a technical background, you can still enroll in the program. You will learn the appropriate amount of technology that is required for you to study innovation as a part of the program. So that you rest assured that you will get that exposure, and you will learn some amount of technology, be it programming, be it IoT, be it AI, whatever emerging technologies that we are talking about, it will be part of the program, which obviously is to make sure that you get a good placement. I mean, that goes unsaid that all whatever we are doing is eventually to get a better professional growth. Okay. Professional growth can happen through good placement. Professional growth can happen through you becoming a better professional by expanding your skills, and then eventually it will lead to the right placements. Is the campus safe for girls? Is it too far off from Pune? I think that's a very generic question, not very specific to innovation. But I'm sure we have been running the campus for the last 15 years, and there is due care and attention which is given to safety and security on the campus. So rest assured, there is no other issue in terms of the safety and security on the campus. There are well equipped hostels, there are well equipped security staff, housekeeping staff to take care of all the facilities that are provided to the students there. Do we need to do a formal master's program after this program? Depends again. Means if you still want to study after this, you may choose to do that. Means it all depends on whether you want to study further or you want to work. So ideally, after the innovation program, you should get on a job and work. Again, doing a master's after doing an innovation program may or may not be very advisable and may not be needed also. Unless, as I said, if you want to do a PhD, then you have to go for a master's program. There isn't any other reason for you to do a master's. Thank you. Please talk about the exclusivity of the batch size, projects completed. Yeah, I spoke about this. Good. Perfect. I think if the questions are done, then we'll end this year. And okay, there is one more. If I apply for the innovation program, will I still have an option to get to MDes? For example, someone gets selected in innovation, consider for MDes. So see, the choice will be eventually yours. So if you get selected in the MDes and you get selected in the innovation program, the choice is with you, based on whatever we have discussed, based on whatever you have understood, and based on whatever your career aspirations are. You need to take an informed decision that whether I want to go for an MDes or whether I should go for an innovation. I have made it kind of pretty clear in terms of what is what. Is what do you get when you do a MDes and what do you get when you do an innovation. Based on that, I think you should make a wise choice of choosing between a MDes and the innovation. In terms of timelines, I think you have been given enough flexibility so that there is no clash and there is no conflict that you are to forced to choose between two of them at the cost of each other. Okay, so that's something which you'll have to consider when you make a decision here. Do we get enough design skills after program if we got placed as a graphic designer in a company? I won't. I don't recommend that. Means, see, I've been telling you, if you want to become a graphic designer, if you want to design logos, if you want to design packaging, if you want to learn typography, if you want to learn the mechanics of it, like the skills part of it, then you won't get that in the innovation program. Okay, there's just not enough time to teach all of that. You will get some exposure. You have to learn it through the network and the resources that are on the campus. But actively teaching you a design skill key, you will get to learn Photoshop, you will get to learn Illustrator, you will get to learn this. That may not be possible in the innovation program. So again, I'm saying if you want to design packaging, if you want to design logos, if you want to design websites, if you want to design all that what a graphic designer does, only, and if that's the only goal that you have, then probably you should go for a MDes. That's pretty much clear here. What is the salary package of a MDes program vis-a-vis a innovation program? Again, unfair to compare in that sense, because MDes program is a 10-year-old program and this is a 1-year-old program. So obviously there is going to be a difference there. MDes programs, the highest salaries, the highest salary may differ, but on an average, if you see, innovation and MDes would be at the same level in that sense. So there's not much of a substantial difference when it comes to the innovation program salaries that you can expect. See, whatever you are otherwise learning in an MDes program, a compressed version of that you are anyways learning in the innovation program any which ways. So that's kind of been taken care of. the exact salary will depend on obviously how and where and what all you have gained as a skill as a part of the program, and what you want to kind of make out of your own career. Sure. Fair enough. I think we are there on the group. If you want to really, I know there are some interesting discussions happening on the WhatsApp group. So if you want to also discuss few things on innovation, and if you think some questions which were not answered here, you can post it on that group, and we'll be happy to answer it there as well. And good to see the kind of bonding that you have all developed on the group. So please continue that. We're happy to help you on that front as well, whatever you need there. And anything specific, you can write to us at innovation@mitid.edu, or the WhatsApp number you already have, and we'll be able to address the rest of the queries there. So great. Thank you. Thank you all for joining, and hope it was useful. And yeah.